Here, there's an interesting move. This is not the most direct way. Black should be aiming for the D4 square, since I know you play the closed, and D4 is what makes the open. But you have a well. Let me go on to the next move. Actually, okay. So I don't think G6 is accurate. I think that the knight should go here. Now the E6 setup is fine. You know, but it should be played after the bishop is fianchettoed and after the knight comes to C6. Then we can play E6 and bring the knight to E7 to reinforce the D4 square. But here you might have missed a decent move. You played the automatic bishop G2 here. But look at this move. This is not a bad move. For one, you are threatening to play D5 and take C6 away. Okay, so if black takes, you can take back the queen, and now you've got this nice tempo on the rook. Okay, so what's black going to do? Well, we don't know, but he's got to cover it. Now you're happy if you see f6, because the pawns are getting they're advanced and made the black king position weaker. The long diagonal is closed. I have to sneeze. Okay, what else can he do? Well, he doesn't. He could play Queen F6, but we have time to just gain a tempo and chase that queen out of there. And now you have a little command over these squares. Knight F6. You have a choice of a pin, which creates a threat, and clearly, if takes here or goes there, we can play E5, and black seems to be losing this. Let's see. You can almost get away with giving up your queen. This is very interesting. Let's see. Takes. What's happening here? Now the knight's a goner, but white has 3 pieces for the rook, and this pawn is not going anywhere. Okay, so there's definitely some interesting stuff in here. So knight f6, bishop g5 certainly seems to be strong. It's going to require black to play bishop e7, and for what it's worth, you could, if you wanted, play bishop h6 here, and black can't castle. Okay, or you could just save the tempo and develop a piece. Here we can play knight f3, and if castles, we have some potential kingside attacking chances here. So castle long and so forth. Anyway, and then e5. Knight c6. We'd like to go to e4, but we can't. Let's see. Queen. No, that drops the pawn. We have to go to e3, and maybe knight here. If we have to play bishop d3, knight takes, and then let's see, queen e2. So bring the knight to f3 and try to penetrate the dark square. Sure, this does not look bad for white at all. Look at this bishop. It's going to probably have to fianchetto, or maybe you can get d6. And, it just seems like d4 is a good move for you. And again, he's refraining from bringing this knight to c6, so it just doesn't seem right. And more pawn moves. I mean, he's played 4 pawn moves out of 6, and he's not done yet. And here, another one weakening this square. Is black trying to attack your king? Well, your king hasn't committed to castling king side, and at this stage, for all intents and purposes, it looks like you're uh, you're planning to castle queenside. So, this move doesn't make sense. It seems like black is trying to stop you from playing bishop h6. But, this is a case where, he should just let you do it, get his pieces out. If you bother to do this, well, he may still have some attacking chances here, but black's getting his pieces out. He's pretty much even in development. Two pieces out and castled, two pieces out, queen out. And then now maybe play h5 and invite white to prove he has something going here. Okay. And yet another pawn move, although logically it's something that black wants to do in a closed Sicilian, is advance this pawn up to b4. And I hear he decided to castle kingside. I think that's the correct choice. Black's king is remaining in the center, and he's made 6 out of 8 pawn moves. And now you have time to do this. The other playable alternative here is to play knight h4, and the idea here is you want to play f4 and f5. You're trying to build up some kind of an attack, even if it costs you a pawn. You definitely open up lines for your pieces. And then maybe another tempo lost to attack a pawn. I think again we can maybe go for this plan. And here he just misses the whole idea. He needs to play queen c7 here. Now you can't really assault d6 again, and here he's developed a piece instead of taking a developed piece out of play. And I might go here just to invite. Well, I see, he had knight d5. It's the next turn. Yeah, here I might play bishop g5 just to invite this pawn up to f6. Making this a bad piece. I'm protecting this. Now bring the bishop back, and maybe you've got something with this idea coming up. And we're trying to induce weaknesses in our opponent's position. But you definitely have all the play. Your development is complete, and his king is still in the center, and he can only castle one side. I might not have parted with this bishop. Let's see. I might have played c3. Idea is chase the knight out and open up some possibilities, mobility for the queen. Now we do get this in afterwards, and he's pretty much getting himself in trouble here. You have a threat to win a pawn, and if he takes, he's bringing your queen into play. That's what he does. Now you're not only threatening to win a pawn, you're threatening a check here, displacing his king. And here you could just take it, but I like the check.
Check.
And now move 21, black had not bothered to castle, and now he can't. So you still got three guys that are keeping his rooks from cooperating. It's going to take a while to get those rooks connected. This king may have to move twice. So yeah, it may never happen. This creates a threat because the b pawn is defensively pinned. And now you just go with the pawn. And now he's almost busted here. What's defending f7? How can he defend f7? It's not that easy. So let's see. What if you played here? This threatens a mate. Almost forces him to come back here. Now, you're almost threatening one of these knights into c6. No, not quite. Can't get rid of this knight here. I'm trying to lure this bishop out. We don't quite have anything with this. Anyway, just an idea. Now here, again, I don't know why you don't threaten mate. I mean, this is a checkmate threat. I guess it would make him defend. We can kind of do this similar to his in the game. Now bishop h3, or b2, and this makes no sense. Unless he's trying to put the rook here so he can park the king on h8. Now here he thinks he's getting clever, but he isn't. He's giving up the exchange. Now if he takes here, you just park your king in the corner. But the problem here is that
check.
Maybe you would get something if your king took. Obviously, this would be a threat, but your queen can take. And black has two problems. Well, three problems. Number one, he is behind a rook in this position. Number two, you are threatening a mate in one. And number three, he doesn't have time to regain, some material. I guess he could take here, and he didn't. Let's see, that's probably what he has to do. But, this position is becoming very favorable for you. Let's see, if rook here, this queen check could be annoying. King in the corner, there's another check. Let's see. So, this is clearly what he had to do. Unless you have another choice here. Or do you? Let's see. This is met by this, and you don't have a mate. Let's see. He clearly needs to take this. And then take here. So, this, you may not want to bring this this rook over here because I'm protecting e5, or e4 rather. Let's see. Rook c1. Just the queen's going to come down here. Why not play rook b3 here? Okay, now we don't care if he checks because we'll just
check,
chase the queen out, and say the queen goes here. We've got this rook in play. This pawn is defensively pinned. Here you can play queen e6, or f6, I should say. And, he's down the exchange, has to trade queens, I believe. So he just allows a mate in one.
Checkmate.
So good game.